Hi, B. Evans here from Stress Free Tech, ET Digital Designs, and today's tutorial is on how to resize and compress images for your WordPress website. So you might ask, why do I need to do this? There's various reasons, but the main one is images take up a lot of time and space on your website, and they can make your website run really slow. If your website runs slow, then Google will penalize you. And if your website runs slow, your visitors will get impatient and they won't wait, and they will abandon your site and they will leave, and they won't even wait to see what you've got to offer them. So it's really important that you try and make your site as lean as possible. So when we talk about images and sizes, there's two different ways we talk about it. One as in dimension, which is width by height, and the other as in size, which is in kilobytes or megabytes. Now you go, how do I know what size to use? Okay, this is a real cool tool, and all the links to all these tools I'm going to show you will be underneath this video, so make sure you check below. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to hit subscribe so that you get all of my tutorials. So this tool is by Theme Examples, and it gives you the dimensions that are handy to know for Divi images. So it gives you, if you're using a 16:9 ratio, it gives you the actual dimensions in width and height that you need. So good time to do all of this resizing, both in dimensions and in kilobytes and megabytes, is before you upload any photos to your site. First, make sure you know what size it's got to be in the dimensions, and then you want to compress it to make it as compact as possible, so that it's not big as in megabytes. Anything over 500 kilobytes is usually too big for your website and will take too long to load. So to resize an image as in dimensions, this cool tool, Bulk Resize Photos, is a great tool. So what you do is you drag your image that you want to resize, you choose image dimensions, and if I want to make it 3/4 of a column size, I can choose 795 by 447. So I just put that in there, 795, oops, sorry, here, 795 by 447, and make sure it's a JPEG. JPEGs take up less size on a website than a PNG. The image quality, you can make that bigger if you want. If you make it less, it will compress it a bit as well. And now this image is actually over a megabyte. It's 1.1 megabytes. But once you do it, see how it's done 1.1, it's now made it 60 kilobytes. And then you just click download. Download it, and you will see your image is there. Okay, so another way to do it is, if this doesn't compress it, you can go to Tiny PNG to compress images. Again, link is below, and if I drop my map image here, Tiny PNG tells you it's 1.2 megabytes. It's compressing it. It tells you how much it's saved. It's made it 1.31, so it's a little bit bigger than the other one. You can set the settings to make it less or more, and then you just click download. Click the download all, because you can do more than one. It only does a maximum of up to 5 megabytes, but you can drop up to 20 images here, and it'll download it as a zip file. So I suggest you do those kinds of things before you upload them to your WordPress site. One of the reasons why I suggest you do it before is, A, you will have the right size, B, it will be the right size in kilobytes and megabytes, and C, when you upload an image to WordPress, it actually makes 3 versions of that image. So you might want to prevent it from making those 3 versions, and if that's the case, you go to here in the back end, your dashboard settings, media, And when you upload an image, it will do a thumbnail size, a medium size, and a large size. And you notice these are square. If you don't want, for example, the thumbnail size, just make that 0. And if you don't want the max size, just make it 0. And if you only want the large size, that's fine, you leave it and you click Save Changes. A useful tool to see if your images, etc., are a good size is to use GT Metrics. Now I did this one and I'm not actually signed in. You can sign up for free, and I find if you sign up for free, it actually, log in, I'll just go in there. If you sign up for free, it actually gives you a bit more functionality in that you can test the performance of your website in a better way. What you want to do is, when you actually do this, go to your account and come down here, enable legacy reports, make sure that's on, and make sure default to legacy reports is on, and then choose your closest server to you. So if you're in the US, you might want a US server. If you're in New Zealand, maybe Sydney's closest. So just check the server that's closest to you. And then once you've changed those settings, just come back to your GT Metrics homepage and test it and see. So HTTP, it needs your whole URL. Oops, if I can type. This is the URL I had, and I'll analyze it. And the reason why I want you to enable those legacy reports is if you have images that are the wrong size, it will actually recommend what size they need to be. So when that happens, you actually want to delete the image off your website, resize it to the correct size, and then upload it again, and then add it in where it needs to be. So this is a pretty good score. So for example, if I had images with image dimensions, so you see here, if I click the little down arrow, it's saying that these images could be a little bit better. And what it does is, if there's an image that's the wrong size, it's saying it's missing height attributes, it will say this image is this size, it should be that size. And you just take a note of what that size is, and you come over here to bulk size rephotos, and you just resize it, and there you go. So images is one of the biggest things that makes a difference in your website for speed optimization. So if you do it before you actually upload everything, it does mean you need to know where you're going to put what, but if you do it before you upload everything to your website, you have a much better chance of having a much better, faster running website. If, for example, you've done it and you don't want to do anything about re-uploading it and changing, you can use a plugin like Short Pixel or Smush or Ew. The only problem is you will still have the not so good sizes. It will change the sizes, maybe not as good as if you did it yourself manually. I have tried it and I find doing it manually is still the better way. I still had errors with it, even though I did it with a plugin after they were uploaded. And by doing that, it's better than not doing it at all. But the time to really do these optimizations is before you upload everything. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. All right, signing off for now. Take care and be kind to one another. Vera from Stress Free Tech. Bye.